All the work in the dark paid off. '24 was a great year, and '25 was one of the harder years. And you look at both of those years, and sometimes we got too high, sometimes we got too low. In some of those games, we thought we could have pulled out. Like just it just didn't happen that way. And so for this year, I want us to, there's not a ton of people talking great about us, which is how I want it to be. I feel like that's when we're at our best. Last year at this time, we were sitting here and everyone was saying we could win it all. We got to have all these draft picks. Like, I just want us to be a team this summer. And we got a new offense and everything, so we need to spend time on that. But as a team, like we're bonding over the fact that people don't really believe in us right now, and I think that's a great thing. When you look at back, Clemson's been at their best when the back has been against the door. So I'm excited about it.
When Morris was here before, he was ultra effective as the OC. So, how do you feel? Do you feel in some ways that you've gotten back to some of the things of the glory days of this team with Coach Morris back in the fold?
I mean, yeah, there's definitely some similarities. I've been watching some games, when Taj Boyd was playing. There's some similarities, but there's also a lot of new things that we're implementing that, is a little bit different than the first time. So we're excited about that. And I think one of the biggest things about it is, or one of the coolest things is we get to sit there in the quarterback room and my QB coach is the one on the screen doing everything that he's teaching us. And that's very rare to be in a college program where your coach has done the exact same thing that you're trying to do. Sometimes it's coaches that haven't played at that certain level. Like I'm listening to Taj Boyd talk about these big time games, big time moments, and running the exact plays we're learning that day. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. That's You get firsthand experience from him, hearing about what he was thinking. Like that is so beneficial to us as quarterbacks.
He was so good. That's the
Mhm.
first thing I was thinking about when you're bringing Coach Boyd up. Is Taj Boyd was an unbelievable college player. Similarly, are your receivers having a lot of fun watching the receivers that he was thrown to? Because those were glory days
Uh,
of Clemson wide receivers.
I just feel like every single day there's, when we do a new install or something, like there's another huge play on the board and we all watch it together and we're like, man, I remember where I was when that happened, stuff like that, like when we were younger and crazy to think like we were so young watching that and now we're here with the same guys watching them do it.
What's the number one way Coach Boyd's made you a better quarterback so far since he's come on board?
Honestly, I think about this a lot. I could give two different answers on this, but I feel like there's an off the field type of preparation mentally that I feel like he's really helped me with. Just as far as preparing for the day, but even like preparing your mind before practice. Like, when am I gonna be really thinking about before practice? Because it's a huge practice is huge, but the way you prepare to practice allows you to be successful in practice, which allows you to be successful on Saturday. So he's helped me with my preparation mentally and also physically. I mean, he lets me know where I'm lacking physically and what I need to get better at. And I appreciate him for who he is as a person and but he's honest with people. And that's the biggest thing I love about Clemson is where you stand. Um, they're very transparent. And so, over the past couple years, I've, wondered like, what's it going to look like? And everything they've told me um, has been true. And you can't say that a lot about other places in the country. So,
All these incredible guys stay. So that's got to say everything about the experience of playing there. It's not just you. All these star players who could have tried to go see if the grass was greener somewhere else, pretty much all of them continue to play for Clemson. And in a time where everyone's zipping all over the place, there is some usage of the transfer portal now, and people have called that out. But it's still not a heavy use of the transfer portal for the Clemson Tigers at all.
we have one of the best retention rates in the country, keeping players in the program. And it's really because people don't want to leave. People ask me why I stayed, and I mean, I told you, but it's really the same for everyone else. They don't want to leave a place where they're connected to it, but also they feel like it's best for them. And the world can tell you that's wrong, the media can tell you that's wrong, but your heart knows that you belong in Clemson. And the culture of Clemson, we have the highest graduation rate in football, and you can't compete with that and also playing football at a high level. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't want to be here, but it also isn't for everyone. You know, if you don't want to be held to the highest standard or be held accountable, this place is not for you because it will eat you alive if you don't like that.
You go back to the beginning of when you were first recruited. What did they kind of say that they saw in you that made them want to make you the next quarterback at the University of Clemson?
I think I was the leader coming out of high school that they were looking for, and I feel like I've just gotten better since coming out of high school. But at the same time, they told me, "Hey, if you know, if K's our guy, you're gonna redshirt, and so we can put 2 years between you guys, or yeah, I guess 2 years, or a year, and and that was gonna be the plan. And there's not a lot of guys that would want to agree with that or to that plan, but I knew coming out of high school, like if I wasn't gonna play, I would like to, have a year to really learn and adjust to the college game. And I feel like that's been the most beneficial year of my sports career is to be able to play in a couple games, but really like get used to college football, learn a lot, learn from the experience Cade had, and really get the mental side down because I feel like that's really what separates you in college football is you get on scholarship because you have the frame and you have the arm talent and you can make all the throws and athleticism, but mentally, for some guys and for myself, once I got to college, I had to learn a lot more of the mental game on the whiteboard in the film room, and so that 1 year gave me just a lot of opportunity to learn. I felt like I really took advantage of it and then got to play a lot in 24. And then last year, finally got to start my first game and playing some other games. But definitely that first year really helped me redshirting.
What does it say about you that you were able to, understand even that young that waiting could be a good thing because you get to see the legacy of Clemson quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence being the most recent obvious one, but it's already well established what players can do developing through this program in terms of getting to the next level.
Yeah, and I can't sit here. I tell everyone I can't sit here and be mad that it took this long when I signed up for it. I knew when I signed to come here at 17 that there was a possibility it would take 3 years at the most to start. And those 3 years felt really long. I got to be transparent about it. But I learned so much, and just the patience. I've just been motivated to be patient because I love Clemson. I could have gone to other places, but I didn't want to leave this place like we've been talking about. And so I want to be the quarterback at Clemson, and it's finally time to do that. So
What do you think the toughest moment of your entire college journey has been so far?
honestly, just having to wait. I mean, when I look at my high school journey, I played every single game for 4 years. And so I got used to always running out there first, having the spotlight, and then getting to college, being a big name recruit, 5-star quarterback, and getting their freshman year being talked about a lot, and then it kind of just going silent. And then, not going out there on Saturdays to play. You get so used to having, pressure, and then, you get freshman year, you go out there and unless something happens, you're not going in, which is just it was hard to adjust to mentally, as far as like, I'm not running out there first anymore. And so what I feel like the whole thing has taught me is the true appreciation to get to play football, especially at this level. But my whole life, I started every game I played. I loved every sport, and I always got to play. Like there was never a time where I didn't get to play, and then I got to college, and it was like totally different. There's games I didn't play. I worked all week, prepared all week like I was going to play, and then you get to Saturday and there's nothing. And so that was really hard. But I feel like I wouldn't change anything about it because it's given me true appreciation for the sport and actually getting to play football.
What was the core turning point moment in your development that fans weren't able to see, but you experienced and you can share with them now?
Honestly, I think day after day, you prepare to play on Saturday. And when you realize that there's a chance you might not, I mean, that can really be hard on someone. It was hard on me. But then I started to really focus on my personal development as a quarterback. And at the same time, people don't talk about this is, building relationships with the guys that I'm going to be playing with this year. Like when I look at the offensive line this year that we're going to have, I've been hanging out with these guys since freshman year and building relationships. And so now I've been preparing for this time of my life for years at this point. So when January rolled around and I walked in as a leader, I've been prepared for it since 2023. And obviously I had a lot of growing over the past couple years, but every single day I thought about September 5th when we get to play. I mean, I've been thinking about that forever, but I'm so much more prepared because I took, just the random days in the fall or the random days in the spring to actually prepare for this moment. So now it's just very natural to me.
When I talk to you in a year, what's the story you'll be telling about this Clemson football season?
Just that all the work in the dark paid off. That's what I really truly believe. There's a lot of work that people don't know about, a lot of work as a team that, behind the scenes that like I said, this team's just hungry. We're doing a lot of things that we haven't done before as a team. And so when I look back a year from now, I'm gonna be thinking like we did it the right way. There's not a day that I go in there and I question the work ethic of the people on our team.